This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, motorists are being warned to take extreme care over the long weekend, with icy conditions expected for most of the southern region. A former Stewart Island oyster farmer says the Ministry for Primary Industries is ripping him off with a low compensation offer. And an Australian artist is bringing an illuminating exhibition to the Dunedin Public Art Gallery. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Motorists have been warned to take extreme care over the long weekend, with icy conditions expected for most of the southern region. Queen's Birthday weekend will see road police out in force in a campaign to keep motorists safe.
The man in charge of keeping the road toll down, Senior Sergeant Jared Kirk, and his team will be patrolling Otago's coastal roads and highways over the long weekend as a combination of holidaymakers and icy roads threaten to turn them into carnage.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of us. Yeah, we're all going to deploy to the roads, and we know it's a big risk to us, so we want to be out there and make sure that everyone gets to their journey safely.
It's already been a busy few days for emergency services, with a number of crashes around the region as winter sets in. Motorists are being advised to buckle up and avoid unnecessary distractions.
Please put your phone down. Whatever the message is, it's not that important. They can't wait till later.
The tolerance for speeding will be only 4 kilometres above the limit, and Sergeant Kirk says the roads will be busy with holiday traffic.
Just make sure you keep your speed down. There's going to be more motorists on the road, so please keep your speed down. Make sure you put your seatbelt on. We're expecting a lot of visitors to our area, so if you're on the roads, have a great weekend, but drive safely.
The roads between Dunedin and Oamaru, as well as between Milton and Balclutha, have both been identified as crash hotspots. Dominic George, The South Today.
Police are treating the discovery of a body found on Brighton Beach this morning as unexplained. Access to the beach was blocked off from around 10 o'clock and a heavy police presence has been enforced this afternoon. A semi-naked body was clearly visible lying face down on the beach. Dunedin CIB detectives have carried out a scene examination and a witness has been spoken to. Police won't be drawn on whether the body is that of a local missing person. A former Stewart Island oyster farmer has hit out at the Ministry for Primary Industries after his first compensation offer came back at just a fraction of his original claim. Bluffman Rodney Clark had millions of oysters removed from Big Glory Bay after the outbreak of the deadly parasite Bulimia ostrae, and says the Ministry's compensation offer is a rip-off.
After months of waiting, former Bluff Oyster Company General Manager Rodney Clark has received his first offer of compensation. He was one of the oyster farmers affected by the mass removal of oysters from Stewart Island's Big Glory Bay in June last year, after the parasite Bulimia ostrae was detected in the area. But Clark says despite comprehensive records kept by his company, the Ministry for Primary Industries has offered him just a fraction of what he's owed.
22 cents on the dollar. And we've given them the information. We supplied them with photographs. They're actually telling us that we couldn't have sold the amount of oysters we had. It doesn't even begin to address our company's situation in terms of what we owe.
Clark said he's been a broken man since the day his oysters were removed, and that he and his wife are living on income from a part-time job, loans from friends and food he catches himself. He said MPI have wrongly calculated the compensation offer by using numbers from other oyster farms.
I just want MPI to deal with this properly and not try and rip us off. Not try and offer us 22 cents on the dollar when we can show them the size of oysters and the number of oysters and what we were selling them for. When we can produce the evidence, I don't expect them to use somebody else's claim on mine.
He said the directors of the company would discuss the offer, but that it was an insult that needed to be addressed.
We've been put in a very difficult situation because we desperately need money. But the claim they put in, we still have to address our legal obligations in terms of paying back. The shareholders can't take anything. We have to make sure, we have to work by, under the Companies Act, that all creditors are paid before any shareholders get anything. So we have to have our claims addressed and addressed fairly.
Clark said another 7 claims are still being processed by the ministry, totalling around $70 million. A spokesperson for the ministry said today that MPI had approved and offered payments of approximately $622,000 in compensation to 3 claimants, and that a further 21 claims are still being assessed. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Queenstown police are on the hunt for a hungry burglar who helped himself to slices, cakes and pastries from an award-winning Queenstown cafe last night. CCTV footage shows a man wandering past a display full of tasty treats before helping himself to banana bread and lemon slices, then taking the cash till. Senior Constable Sean Drader says the man broke into Bespoke Kitchen around 9:40 last night after using something to crack a lock on the rear door. The man is described as being about 177 centimetres tall and was wearing a beanie and a jacket with distinctive stripes. Australian artist Jonathan Jones has launched an illuminating exhibition at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery. He's of Aboriginal descent and is recreating ancient designs using fluorescent lights.
Let there be light. This impressive installation in the Dunedin Public Art Gallery is the work of Australian Aboriginal sculptor Jonathan Jones. When researching ahead of the Dunedin exhibition, he visited Otago Museum to see what Aboriginal artefacts were in their collection.
They had a number of things from where my family's from, so we're Wiradjuri people and we're sort of 3 key rivers in our country, and there's a boomerang there from the Lachlan River, and so that's a key river in our country, so I sort of got quite connected to that little boomerang.
The Sydney-based artist is a member of the Wiradjuri and the Kamilaroi nations of southeast Australia. He says there are close ties between Australia and New Zealand, as taonga from each country's First Nations were regularly traded during early colonial times.
And I guess New Zealand and Australia has some really strong colonial relationships that most people aren't completely aware of. And so there's these sort of museum relationships, and I think what's interesting is, Indigenous communities actually can help unpack those colonial relationships and sort of talk about them in some different ways.
Growing up with his grandfather, who he describes as a hoarder, Jones says building things out of whatever was lying around just came naturally. Although his works are made from modern materials, his art is inspired by nature.
At a very early stage, I started sort of mapping designs. So a lot of these sort of markings happen on shields and boomerangs and clubs. So I started mapping those stories and just using light. So that they sort of emerge out of that practice.
Jonathan Jones is scheduled to give a talk at the gallery tomorrow morning. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, some adventurous Alexandra kids check out space, and Dunedin is set to swing over the weekend with the dance festival.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
It's on again, the Star Regent 24-hour book sale. Starts noon the 8th of June. Don't miss out.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We've got a deal for you. We've bought a huge bulk order from Lee Stretch Moleskin. So comfortable, nice stretchy fabric, and they're in 6 colours. And the deal, $20 off a pair, or if you buy 2 pair or more, $25 off a pair.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So that's Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin, Cromwell and Mosgiel.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Being a big softie takes training. I've gone to great lengths to become even softer while still being strong and reliable. The new me is bigger and softer than ever.
Cotton Soft. Softness and strength you can trust.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Too late to sow seeds? Don't despair, the solution is at hand. Call Ready Lawn today for your year-round lawn needs. Call now on 03 486 1819.
Stay warm this winter with Alistair McCann's Wooden Coal door-to-door delivery. You don't have to lift a finger. Call Alistair to order today on 454 3592.
Dunedin's top football on Channel 39, Saturdays at 7, Sundays at 2 and Tuesdays at 3:30.
Welcome back. Today is World Milk Day, created by the United Nations to recognise the importance of milk as a global food. New Zealand dairy giant Fonterra is taking the chance to sing the virtues of dairy products, which it says contributes $12 billion a year to New Zealand's economy. Fonterra's head of nutrition, Mindy Wigsell, says New Zealanders consume 400 million litres of milk each year, making us the world's third highest consumers of fresh white milk per capita. Wigsell says milk also contains a large range of naturally occurring nutrients, including protein, calcium and vitamin B12. The trip of a lifetime beckons for 5 young Alexandra space science students. The group have booked themselves a trip to France after taking part in an international challenge to design the next space technology. And with the help of the New Zealand Space Agency, they'll travel to the Toulouse Space Show later this month to pitch their idea.
5 students from Dunstan High School in Alexandra are heading to France after participating in the 24-hour hackathon Act in Space, which challenged them to reimagine uses for space technology.
It's to do with augmented reality and street art. You know, you do your street art and basically you have to use the Galileo satellite constellation, which is basically GPS tracking but better.
The team came in a close second with their idea, but as the youngest team, aged only 15 and 16, judges were so impressed they made a special decision to send the team to France. The France trip was a surprise announcement in their morning assembly.
Yeah, it was incredible. We got into assembly and we saw all these people sitting up on the stage that we recognised. It was like, something's happening. Something's up.
We saw a few mentors and a few support group and we're like, why are you all here?
Yeah. The team already know who will help them speak French while they are there.
I'm the only one that takes French. No one else speaks French, so that could be an interesting ride.
The team won't compete in the final, but will be able to pitch in front of an international audience of investors and space industry players. Simon Henderson for the South Today.
One way to keep warm this long weekend is to swing it like it is the Great Depression. The Dunedin Midwinter Swing Festival is set to heat up the city this weekend with dances from the 1920s to the 1940s.
They're going to party like it's 1929. Dancers from across the country and teachers from around the world are swinging into Dunedin ahead of the 3rd Midwinter Swing Festival this weekend. Festival Committee Chair Matt Jenkins says the event is an opportunity to attract dancers and teachers to Dunedin.
There's a few scenes around New Zealand, Christchurch, Auckland, Wellington, notably Nelson as well. And we really get them all here, as many people as possible. Also Australia, there's a big scenes in Melbourne and Brisbane, so they'll be coming here as well, hopefully. And we also get international teachers, so this year we're very lucky to have 2 teachers from Sweden coming over.
Swing dancing incorporates styles popular from the 1920s to the 1940s, such as the Charleston, Lindy Hop and blues. Jenkins says swing in Dunedin is popular with students and the scene in the city is vibrant, especially with 20-somethings.
Dunedin's got a very vibrant swing dancing scene. Obviously it's a big student population, so we get lots of people from the student community come and join. It's a transient city, so people come and go all the time, but we've got a really good core of people that stay in Dunedin.
The festival leaps into action tonight with a ball at the Savoy, a fitting venue as the building is from the same period as the dancers.
Lindy Hop actually originated in the Savoy in Harlem, New York, so now we're actually bringing it to Dunedin and having this amazing event over there. So it's this great old ballroom, it's got an amazing floor to dance in, it's a lot of history and nostalgia there. So
unless you're a mime artist, there can't be dancing without music. And Dunedin swingers, the Rinky Tinky Jingle Jangle Jazz Club, are setting the tempo. The event is set to climax on Saturday night with the South Island Swing Dance Competition at Toitu, featuring entrants from New Zealand and Australia. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, we see who took out Otago Secondary School's cross-country champs, and we check out the weekend's wintry weather.
At the hard-to-find bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We've got a deal for you. We bought a huge bulk order from Lee Stretch Moleskin. So comfortable, nice stretchy fabric, and they're in 6 colours. And the deal, $20 off a pair, or if you buy 2 pair or more, $25 off a pair.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So that's Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin, Cromwell and Mosgiel.
Too late to sow seeds? Don't despair, the solution is at hand. Call Ready Lawn today for your year-round lawn needs. Call now on 03 486 1819.
Stay warm this winter with Alistair McCann's Wooden Coal door-to-door delivery. You don't have to lift a finger. Call Alistair to order today on 454 3592.
It's on again, the Star Regent 24-hour book sale. Starts noon the 8th of June. Don't miss out.
Join us! 7 p.m. Saturdays, 2 p.m. Sundays, 3:30 Tuesdays. Oakley's off the bar.
Thanks for staying with us. Otago's best young cross-country runners have battled it out in the final event of the Secondary School Championships. The event at Kaikorai Valley College attracted a record number of runners on the typically rugged course.
Warming up for the fourth and final cross-country event of the season, over 150 athletes from schools across Otago turned out at Kaikorai Valley College yesterday, determined to finish the season on a high. Events and competitions manager Nicole McLaren says the turnout is pleasing.
We've got a total of about 18 schools competing, about 12 of them from Dunedin, and then about 6 country schools that have travelled as well, so as far as Mount Aspiring and Blue Mountain and things, so yeah, good turnout today.
The event was the last in a 4-race series run by the Otago Secondary Schools Sports Association. McLaren says the Kaikorai Valley course certainly lives up to its name.
It's a true cross-country event. There's a lot of mud, a lot of running through bush, and very slippery conditions as well, which is awesome. So they're not just running around the sports field, which is exciting. A lot of kids do struggle with it, but they love getting dirty as well, so we are really lucky.
Mount Aspiring College's Gregor Finley took out the 6-kilometre under-19 boys race, while St Hilda's Cecilia Crooks was too good for the competition in the 4-kilometre under-19 girls race. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Motorists are being warned to take extreme care over the long weekend, with icy conditions expected for most of the southern region. A former Stewart Island oyster farmer says the Ministry for Primary Industries is ripping him off with a low compensation offer. And an Australian artist is bringing an illuminating exhibition to the Dunedin Park Public Art Gallery and gives an illuminating talk this weekend. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Paul Gorman. How are you?
I'm good. Friday night, very busy. Everyone rushing to get the paper put together for tomorrow for a long weekend.
Now you've got something interesting.
I have. I'm going to do a Phil, because I've seen Phil bring stuff in and chat. So we've got a double-page spread on some of Garrett Tremaine's cartoons. This is an absolute classic. I just love this one. So he's been doing cartoons for 30 years. There's that one there, and here's another one here with Robert Muldoon. So that's, hopefully I gave you enough time there to see them. That's two. We've got about 9 or 10 in the paper tomorrow. Some of them are just great. Some of them are a bit more controversial than others, but some of them are just out and out hilarious. So look out for that. Being weekend, of course, we've got the mix feature on the generation gap, the boomers versus the millennials, which was quite interesting. You know, the different views on life that they have. And they tell me there's a big rugby game on tonight. Hurricanes playing the Highlanders, so we'll have all the information about that tomorrow.
That will be an interesting matchup of different players there.
I understand it's a big game. I don't know a lot about rugby, but I understand that it's a really big game. In the news section, interesting story, the Edgar Centre, apparently it's already at risk of quake damage, but the tides in the reclaimed land underneath it are lifting and dropping it by every day, every time the tide comes in, so they're going to have to remediate against that. And we've also got a story about those thin panel heaters that are being recalled because they're a fire danger, so look out for that. The one wall was scorched quite badly in this house. And the opinion page tomorrow, I'll just finish on that. Civis is talking about phone scammers. You know, those people that ring you up and tell you your computer's not working properly, and how he handles that. So there's heaps going on in the paper
because
tomorrow.
There's that new scam, isn't there? The one with, they say they're from an embassy and people start getting threats. There was just a new one.
I haven't had that one. I'll have to look out for that.
Yeah. Well, there's something for everyone in
There's
tomorrow's
heaps
paper. Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Today's Southern View was taken at the University of Otago. Looking at the situation, there is a mostly fine weekend in store with coastal cloud and inland sunshine, but temperatures will remain cold. This is followed with a risk of some snow developing around the middle of next week. Looking at the forecast for the towns down south, everyone can expect clear skies with light winds and a high of 8 or 9 if you're lucky enough to be in Gore. Let's travel westwards and see what's in store for the Central Lakes area. Te Anau can expect light northerlies with some cloud and a high of 9. A bit chillier for everyone else, where it will be clear skies and light winds with a high of 7 for Wanaka, 5 for Queenstown and just 4 degrees in Alexandra. Let's go further north and see what the northern towns can expect. Along the coast, Oamaru and Timaru are scheduled for light northeasterlies, cloudy skies and a high of 10. Inland, Marama and Twizel are in for light winds, clear skies and a high of 7. In Dunedin, it will be cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 7. The weather will stay cloudy and cold tomorrow and Sunday with moderate northeasterlies with highs of 10 and lows on both days. And in Invercargill, it is frosty tonight with an overnight low of -1. It will stay sunny but cool throughout tomorrow and the rest of the weekend with just light winds and frosty nights. Highs and lows of 10 and 0 on Saturday and 11 and 1 on Sunday. And that's our news for this Friday. For the latest news from the southern region, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel39.co.nz. We will leave you with a montage of last weekend's Nook and Cranny Festival held at Dunedin's Public Library. I hope you have a great Queen's Birthday weekend and drive safely. Ka kite anō.
Now that we're here, can you recall no time at all? Don't you forget stereos played cassette.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.